I'm Jeff Dexter. I used to hang out here a lot in the late 60s, starting with the International Times launch party in October 1966, which I came along to because I was told it was going to be a crazy, wild dress-up party. And I liked dressing up, and I liked wild parties at the time. And it was everything and more that it could have been, even though the place itself was a bit of a dump at the time. And it was quite wild, and an introduction to a band called the Soft Machine, and later a band called Pink Floyd. By 1966, there was change in the air and new things were creeping in, and what we were doing was a brave new world, really. Jimi Hendrix and the Soft Machine, who were great friends of mine, they did a gig here with Binder, Edwards and Vaughan, who put together another show about a month before called the Million Volt Light and Sound Show, with a electronic music background throughout, composed by Paul McCartney. And that's the only time this piece of McCartney's music has ever been heard or experienced by the masses. But it was a crazy night, again, full of really freaky people dancing and wandering around to strange lights and music. But of course, the one that most people like to talk about is the 2 nights of Jefferson Airplane and the Doors here. John Peel introduced the Doors, and I introduced Jefferson Airplane, and we played records between 4 or 5 other groups on those 2 nights, 2 all-nighters. And then we came up with the idea of bringing in something that was totally for the people rather than trying to make a profit, and that was called Implosion. Every major name, every band wanted to play here at that time. Even the Rolling Stones wanted to finish their UK tour before they left the country to live in France. Most of the bands that came, whether they were big or small, got 25. The Who got £43 because they had to hire a van, and as did the Pink Floyd when they came back and relaunched Adam Mother here with Nico as the support on the bill. They also had to rent a van, so I had to give them £43 as well. First Implosion, I think, was 7 and 6. Then I think we went up to 9 shillings, and on a couple of occasions we may have even gone, if there was more than one thing happening, 15 bob. But we also had locally, we had the Salvation Army band, and they would pitch themselves in front of the Roundhouse every Sunday afternoon. And I had them come in and play several times too. In fact, they played the Christmas show 1970 with The Who, Elton John, America, Pato. Our Danny, who was the cleaner of the Roundhouse, he always wanted to get up and sing, so I gave him the stage for a while. And then he got everybody singing Christmas carols with the Salvation Army band. And all the money from that went to give the old people of Camden a wonderful Christmas party in their homes. We did another spring festival in '71, a whole week of Implosion, and the other half of the week, which was more commercial, produced by a guy called Stuart Lyons. It was an incredible week of shows, really. And David was on the opening Sunday night with his then new band that were actually booed by the audience and hissed at for not being what they expected here. It was too theatrical for your average Sunday punter. I had to go to the microphone and explain what David was trying to do. Then he came back a month later when I helped put together a thing with a living theatre called Atomic Sunrise. We had family audience here. There was no age restriction. People could come with their children or their grandparents. It was mainly teenage freaks who just wanted to dance their nuts off for an afternoon and sweat themselves into a delirium. We just assume this is our new temple. It is it's like a temple when you're inside, especially when you're high on psychedelics. Any wonderful building from Roman times or Greek times, if it's a round building, your mind works in a different way when you're in a circular pace. That's why they have domes on churches. Let your thoughts travel without getting stuck in a corner.